Old school with Justin.
Hey.
Hey, Mayor, Council, how you guys?
Justin, how are you?
Hey.
Justin who?
I just saw him last week.
Remember how to do this?
Well, that's what he looks like.
All right, 6 o'clock, we will call this regular meeting of the Town of Parker Common Council to order. Please silence your electronics. Roll call of council.
Mayor Hartless,
Here.
Vice Mayor Lucas,
Here.
Councilmember Shantz,
Here.
Councilmember Daniels,
Present.
Councilmember De Leon,
Here.
Councilmember Waddell, absent, Councilmember Hooper.
Present.
All right, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice for all. Well, that threw me all off. All right, please remain standing for the invocation by Bree McCrae, the River Church.
Pray with me. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day, and I thank you for Mayor Hartless and the council members who work to better the town of Parker. And Lord, I just pray that you would protect them, that you would give them wisdom and guidance in all the decisions they make. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thanks, Bree. Okay. Do we have anyone for call to the public? No?
Nope.
Okay. Chamber Directors Report, Melissa Newton.
Evening, Mayor and Council. First and foremost, thank you very much for inviting us to be a part of the League of Arizona Cities and Towns. We greatly appreciate that and appreciate the partnership.
Thanks for your help with that. That was crazy.
And then also, I brought with me, we just got the brand new Passport to Adventures. We got them the day before we left. So we were able to take them there with us, but I brought some here for you guys. This is what we send out. So the La Paz Tourism ordered 12,000 of these. They go out to all the visitor centers, but also like, I was trying to think of the word over there, the outlet malls, Palm Springs and all those, Barstow, I can't think of what they're called, Tanger or something like that. They go to there and anywhere else to help promote tourism for the area. So it's got all the events. And so those are out. Here's your copy. And then if you need anything, you know where to find me. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, our next item is the consent agenda. All these items we can take in one motion. There's 6 items. I'll just read them. Chapters 26, 31, 33, 34, and 35 of the Parker Police Department Policy and Procedures Handbook. Chapters 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 52, and 53 of the Parker Police Department Policy and Procedures Handbook. Special event application for October 1st, 2023 for the Autumn Gathering from 4 to 7 at Pop Harvey Park. Item D, special event application October 7th, 2023 for the 49th Annual Indian Days Parade, 9 to 11:30, and Joshua Street Parade Route. Item E, special event application October 14th, 2023, Annual Parker Fire Block Party, Parker Fire Department fundraiser. And then item F, special event application for Colorado River Regional Crisis Services, 3rd Annual Autumn Awareness Street Festival, October 27th, 2023, that should say, from 12 to 10, street closure on Joshua between Arizona and 14th. So unless anybody wants to pull something out of there, we can take these as one motion.
Mayor Hartless, just really quick, in the event application for the Fireman's Barbecue, they noted they will not be serving liquor. However, that has changed, and they will be serving liquor. Just wanted the board to be aware.
Thank you.
Okay.
So that's 8 a.m. to 12 midnight.
Correct.
So it should read 12 a.m., p.m.
No,
No.
midnight's
No.
12 a.m.
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
actually 11,
Okay.
he had 11:59. but
Okay.
that was just
Yeah.
too many
Give 'em that
numbers
minute.
for you guys, yeah.
All right, do we have a motion?
Move to approve?
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda items. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Regular agenda, item 1, discussion and action to approve deny purchase of Accutab Power Pro Chlorinator. Steve Ziegler.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Public Works Department respectfully requests Mayor and Council to authorize staff to purchase the 2 Accutab Power Pro 3075 chlorination units from Aquaflow Solutions for well 6 and 8 for $123,897.84. On July 19, 2022, Council approved the purchase of the Accutab chlorination unit for the pump house. That unit was installed in December of 2022. The unit has been running reliably and has been performing as expected, and therefore I am moving forward with installing this same type at well 6 and well 8. We provided Aquaflow Solutions our specifications to maintain a chlorine residual of 0.5 and 1 part per million at flow rates between 100 and 600 gallons per minute for well 6 and 300 gallons per minute for well 8. The Power Pro 3075 they recommended meets our specifications. We requested to have a chlorine analyzer installed as well that will be constantly analyzing the solution going into the water system, which will give staff the ability to check it at any time from anywhere via our SCADA system. This purchase includes installation and training on the equipment. The Accutab chlorinators are manufactured by Axial LLC. It's a sole source provider of this equipment, and therefore we did not go out and get competing bids or proposals for this. The funds to pay for this will come from the approved FY 23-24 Water Department capital budget, where staff budgeted $61,948.92 for each unit.
All right. Questions, discussion?
On well 8, where we're running half the amount of water that we can run through the other one there, this is the same size chlorinator though, correct?
Yes,
So
they're
if
they're
we
they're
do up it-
scalable. Yeah, I did question that when they first received or sent the proposals and asked why. And so that range is this particular type of, or this particular model, which is a smaller model than what we have installed at the pump house. So this actually is the range that's in between. So that's the reason why they suggested this particular model.
Okay, and so well 8, I mean, is that 300 gallons of tops?
Yes, I mean, down the road.
If we bumped it up, it's not gonna matter with the chlorinator?
No, it's not gonna
Okay,
matter. We would
that's
just have to
my
make
question.
adjustments to the chlorinator to
Okay,
handle it.
sure. That's it.
All right. Entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
So moved and seconded to approve the purchase of the Accutab Power Pro Chlorinator as described. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item 2, discussion action to approve, deny Parker Police Department tenant improvement invitation for bids.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Public Works respectfully requests Mayor and Council authorize staff to put the Police Department Tenant Improvement Project out for bids. On April 19th, 2022, Council approved Seabury Fritz Architects for Phase 1, which was the feasibility study, which included the pre-design, schematic design, and cost analysis, which were all completed. On March 7th, 2023, Council approved Seabury Fritz Architects for Phase 2, which included construction documents, design development, contract documents, bidding or negotiations, and construction administration. The design development and contract documents of this phase were completed on July 15th of 2023. They include a construction set of plans along with structural calculations, specification manual, and the project a revised estimated cost of construction. The invitation for bid includes all the bidding information and forms necessary for a contractor. So it includes the contract documents, the plans, structural calculations, all of that information. We plan to publish this starting tomorrow and on the town website and in the Havasu Herald and the Parker Pioneer, as well as the online bid site, which is noted there, Town of Parker at pipelinesuite.com. It's a project bid site where all bidders will download the documents for to be able to submit the bid. September 18th, I will hold a pre-bid conference here at Town Hall Council Chambers where bidders can ask questions of the project, and we will conclude that meeting with a tour of the location so they can actually physically see the space. On October 5th, the bid opening will occur here at 10 a.m. All bids must be turned in to the town clerk on this day by 10 a.m. The sealed bids will be opened and read aloud here in council chambers. Public Works staff and the architect will then analyze the bids and determine the lowest responsible bidder, along with 2 alternates. The apparent low bidder will then be issued a notice of apparent lowest responsive bid 4 days prior to the award of the contract at the October 17th council meeting. This project was included in the FY 23-24 budget under the General Fund Capital Projects and the grants budget using CDBG funds in the amounts of $350,000 and $229,941 respectively. August 10th, Scott Seabury provided an updated estimated cost of the construction using the Davis-Bacon wages, which was a requirement by CDBG. So this changed the estimated amount of the project from $313,900 to an estimated cost of $408,800.
I mean, I love bacon, but the Davis is what gets in the way. Okay,
Any questions?
discussion? We'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the Parker Police Department tenant improvement invitation for bids. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item 3, discussion and action to approve deny agreement with Sunland Asphalt for street project. Steve.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Public Works Department respectfully request the Mayor and Council to authorize staff to hire Sunline Asphalt to perform the following 2 projects for $1,219,141.19. Sunline Asphalt provided 2 proposals using their 1 GPA Purchasing Cooperative Contract, 22-15P-04. The project from Joshua to Kofa Avenue from 16th to 18th Street. In the fiscal year 22-23, Atkins Engineering developed plans and specifications for this particular project location to address the drainage issues that occur at both of those intersections. The completed plans are included in your packets. The project includes pulverizing the existing pavement on these street segments, grading and then constructing valley gutters on 6 of these segments, then repaving. This proposal includes project notification to all affected residents and businesses, traffic control, barricades, and restriping. That package cost, or that particular project cost, is $1,119,358.64. The other portion of this total is the project on Hopi, the catch basin installation. So in 2017, Public Works Department completed a project to install storm drain and repaving on Hopi. The underground piping connections were completed at that time during that project, but due to cost constraints, the actual catch basin and the concrete catchment were removed from the project, but all of the underground piping was installed. So this project is to install those catch basins and concrete catchments. They're prefab concrete catch basins. This includes backfilling, compacting, and final grading. This proposed project cost is $99,782.55. The tentative timeframe to begin the project will be during the Christmas school break. So I plan to meet with school superintendent and Parker High School principal to go over the traffic control. During that time, we'll probably start on COFA and get a section of COFA done first with a new valley gutter, and then move towards, we'll be able to close off Joshua from 16th to 18th to get that section completed and that little segment in between Joshua and COFA on 17th afterwards. So the plan is try to get as much done during those 2 weeks of Christmas break, and then obviously finish the rest after the school break is over. The funds to pay for this streets capital project were included in the adopted FY 23-24 capital budget.
Okay.
On 16th there, are you going to do from Joshua to California?
Yes, that's part of the
Yeah,
repaving, so,
it didn't read that way to me, so I wanted to make sure.
yeah, on 17th as well,
Okay, so 16th coming all the way down to the school.
correct.
Great, great. That's looking pretty bad.
Yes, it is.
So that catch basin on Hopi, is that in that time frame?
So I'm going to try to get that done first. The reason why I'm taking this early is one of the first things after council approved the budget is so I can get on their schedule to get these scheduled properly. We've already discussed the repaving project and the Valley Gutter project, but that particular Hopi project, I don't have a specific date yet.
Mary?
That was what I was going to ask.
But as soon as I do, I would be happy to let council know.
Thank you. Any discussion? Entertain a motion?
So moved.
Second. Been moved and seconded to approve the agreement with Sunland Asphalt for the street repairs as recommended, presented. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thanks, Steve. Item 4, discussion action to approve, deny Parker Public Library logo update, Phoenix Markel.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The Parker Public Library respectfully requests the Mayor and Council's approval of the library's new logo update. While researching the history of the Parker Public Library, the library staff found an old newspaper article clipping from the summer of 1973, when the library was undergoing many upgrades, including an addition of a new sign. 50 years later, that beautiful sign is no longer here, but our updated logo is designed in its likeness. With this logo change, we believe that we're honoring the history of the library and those who have worked so diligently to make the library what it is today.
So this is going to replace the worm, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Phoenix.
Thanks.
Oh, you're going to stay up.
I am.
Discussion and action to approve, deny Parker Public Library grant repayment to the Arizona Library Association and Arizona State Library in the total amount of $96,141.24. Phoenix.
The Parker Public Library respectfully requests the Mayor and Council's approval of the payback of the following grants. The AZ on Track grant, $86,633.25. The LSTA Rural Information Outreach for homebound and hard-to-reach residents for $5,507.99, and the Community Memory Express grant for $4,000. In April of 2023, the library experienced a shift in management, and while going through emails and files, and after many phone calls and emails to the Arizona State Library and the AZLA president, it was discovered and determined that 3 of the library's grants had been mismanaged. The AZ on Track grant was awarded, or the library was awarded $227,000 and $227,022.50 in April of 2022. The town council approved this grant application at the regular council meeting on May 17th, 2022. The performance period for that grant was April 7th, 2022 to September 30th, 2022, during which all funds had to be spent, used, and materials received. Unfortunately, due to the mismanagement of purchasing $86,633.25 worth of materials and furniture were purchased at the end of the performance period and therefore not received before the performance period ended on September 30th, 2022. We are now required to return those funds to the Arizona Library Association. The LSTA Rural Information Outreach Grant, the library was awarded $20,700 in May of 2022. The town council approved the grant application at a regular council meeting on May 17th, 2022. The performance period for the grant was May 13th, 2022 to August 4th of 2023. Funds for this grant had not begun to be used until March 2nd, 2023, when an employee was finally hired for the grant. Additional funds were used to purchase radio ad time for the grant, and due to mismanagement of this grant, the purchases and wages did not cover the entirety of the grant funds, and $5,507.99 needs to be repaid to the Arizona State Library. The CAP Memory Grant, the library was awarded $4,000 in May of 2022, and the town council approved the grant application at a regular council meeting on May 17th, 2022. The performance period for this grant was May 13th, 2022 to August 4th, 2023. $755.84 was spent for equipment on February 23rd in 2023, and $700 was spent for radio advertisement for the grant in April 2023. When staff was made aware of this grant, no training had been given to the staff on how to use the tech equipment, nor plans on where to house this equipment. Due to mismanagement, the approaching deadline, and advice from the Arizona State Library, the decision was made to return the grant in its entirety and to donate the equipment to the Parker Community Center in hopes that it'll be used there. $4,000 needs to be repaid to the Arizona State Library. For the fiscal impact, $86,633.25 for the Arizona On Track Grant, $5,507.99 for the LSTA Rural Information Outreach Grant, and $4,000 for the Community Memory Express Grant need to be returned to the Arizona Library Association and Arizona State Library for a total of $96,141.24. Because we were made aware of this before the budget was approved, we were able to budget $120,000, and the funds returned will come out of the 2023-2024 regular budget.
Well, at least we got $86,000 worth of furniture, right? But we paid for it at the end of the day, so. And it's approved tonight, but honestly, it's not like we can say, no, we're not gonna do it. I mean, we have to prepay it, so. Yeah. All right, any discussion, questions? I would entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
So move to second to approve the Parker Public Library grant repayment to the Arizona Library Association and Arizona State Library in the total amount of $96,141.24. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Phoenix. Mike Bailey, you're up. Discussion action to approve, deny IGA between the Colorado River Indian Tribes, Paws County, and the town of Parker regarding law enforcement jurisdiction.
So it's my impression that, understand that this would be tabled for
Well,
the meeting, but
I mean,
we can discuss a little bit.
yeah,
So for the last approximately 6 months, the town prosecutor, the county attorney's office for La Paz County, and the CRIT AG's office has been working on an MOU regarding the Oklahoma case from the Supreme Court ruling that happened last year. And in this, just pretty much outlined the I guess, roles for each agency of what's gonna happen if there's a call or a case involving a tribal victim, non-tribal suspect, or a tribal suspect, and it kind of outlines the roles of each agency as far as jurisdiction goes, who would investigate what, and so forth.
so it's different from previous IGAs.
There is no IGA currently with CRIT or county. It's my understanding there's pretty much been
Like a handshake deal?
yeah, there's a strand ruling from 1987, 88, that kind of laid out the court ruling for the jurisdiction. But there's, to my knowledge, and since 2006, has there been any IGAs or MOUs with CRIT in the town of
But
Parker?
there's
and the
like an
county?
understanding.
Depends on
More
who
or
you
less,
talk
but it's
to.
very muddied and confusing, and it depends on time of year, I guess, or who's in what position as far as,
So have you read through this
I have.
and you're good?
Yes, I think it's a good foundation for this. It was my understanding there'd be a meeting prior to any signatures with the agencies. But again, we've received the final draft from the attorneys, and with our input after it's written, we provided our input with it. And again, I think it's a good foundation for this, and it's kind of spells everything out for everybody.
And with all due respect, Chief, I'd like to gather more information about how it really would impact residents, non-resident, well, I say non-resident, like tribal member versus resident, and how all that plays out. I started to read through some of the language, and there's just some points that I want to be clarified on. And I thought maybe right now, in my opinion, that I just would like to see more time for myself to look at those different, different questions on language that's inside that IGA.
Okay.
And it's mainly dealing with like, one of them was the descendants, how that all plays out, and then the definition, how that would apply to Parker residents and/or even tribal members.
Okay.
So, I mean, it'd probably be really easily understood. And then also looking at the Strand decision, that seemed to be more information that came over from one side or one party as opposed to both town and.
Well, keep in mind, nothing is easy to understand or whatnot when it comes to this, so it's going to be it's a discussion for sure.
Okay.
I would like that we would table this item, including an executive session to discuss at a later date.
So you'll make a motion? I haven't read it. I gotta admit, I've been too busy and I would like to see it.
I will
I've
make that
heard things,
motion.
but I'd like to see it for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the first written notification, I was Saturday, so I didn't have that time to really look at it, and that's the first time I'd seen it, so. I know you've been working on it, and then the
And
people
also,
involved.
the attorneys, I mean, it's been, I want to say, I think 6 months or so that they've been back and forth
Right.
with all three prosecutorial lawyers for this.
Anybody know what the county did on this?
They tabled it, and they had an executive session.
Talk about it?
Yes, they did, and I think we should follow suit.
Well, I mean, I think it's just in our best interest to look at the information that's inside of it before we start to make I don't have enough information to where I would be comfortable giving a yes or no vote. So I would do, and if you didn't do a motion, but I would just entertain, yeah, then if that's the motion, then I think it was seconded, so, to table it.
A motion to table, and you seconded.
I definitely second,
Yeah.
yes.
And then,
Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with taking a hard look at it. That's,
And but
it's
the
no
motion
offense
was,
to anybody, just,
the motion was to table and have an executive
Yes,
session,
yes.
correct?
and that's all legal, Justin? Legal reason to have an executive session to talk about it?
Yes, on a couple of different provisions of the e-session. So, but which you're talking about having that at a later date, right?
Yes.
Yes.
But not way later, I mean.
Yes,
soon.
that sounds great. That's a good motion, good second.
All right. All right, so moved and seconded to table item 6 for further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Mayor, would you like to have that at the next council meeting so we can get?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Probably the Pierce Coleman team,
That's 2 weeks,
On
so that's
board.
good chance for everybody to read through it, right?
and won't be
Okay.
back, but Trish is the one that worked on this, so we can coordinate schedules and see if she can join us.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I mean, we might check schedules on that. How much did Christina have much involvement on that side of it?
I don't know if she was a part of the crafting of it. I know that she was involved with the drafts, and I think she and Trish had kind of spoke about it from time to time. So she's been involved with it from the beginning, but Trish has been the lead on this for this.
That sounds great then.
Okay. Item, we did.
We did?
Yeah. Item 7. Discussion and action to approve, deny First Amendment to the Cooperative Purchasing Agreement between the town and Pride Outfitting. Mike Bailey?
This was an oversight from the first meeting in August when we did the vehicle outfitting. There's a lot of numbers, and this just is an amendment to recommend that council approve amend the cooperative purchase agreement from the city of Chandler. The total amount initially was $35,860. That actually should have been $80,341.88 for services, total services paid to Pride Outfitters.
Well, that's a heck of an increase. Yeah.
So what this was actually, with the lease of the vehicles, we already purchased the equipment for the 2 of the trucks. Well, the trucks are leased, and those are bought and paid for equipment on the truck. So the contract, or I'm sorry, the leasing company is actually going to reimburse the town the cost of that equipment that we're going to use towards the Explorers out here that we purchased the Explorers. So it's not really saving money, but it's just exchanging dollars for dollars.
That's good to know.
Yeah, that helped us out. So I guess it did save not having to buy other parts that way.
Okay.
All right. Questions? Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the First Amendment to the Cooperative Purchasing Agreement as recommended. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item 8, discussion and action to approve, deny adoption of the Town of Parker Personnel Rules and Regs. Ed Dickey?
Yes, Mayor, Council, we got before you what we went over on August 15th at the work session, the personnel rules and regulations. We're just bringing it back to council as directed for approval. There have been no changes or anything since that work session.
Any questions, discussion?
Didn't we ask for a couple changes?
There was, I don't think there was any changes in that meeting,
Okay,
from what I remember.
one before then.
Yeah, there was no changes.
Okay, move to approve?
Second.
So moved and seconded to approve adoption of the Town of Parker Personnel Rules and Regulations. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Excuse me. Item 9, discussion action to approve, deny Resolution 14, 2023, establishing purchasing amounts. Ed?
Mayor, Council, the purchasing amounts for the purchasing policy, talking with staff, and just from what I've seen out there, and that we're recommending, staff is recommending that the town council approves a resolution establishing a purchasing amount. Section 4 of such resolution made it restricted for staff to purchase due to the amounts 15,001, requiring sections 111, 5, and 111, 6 of the town code. Basically 3 sealed bids and advertising in the local paper, etc. Due to the increased costs in labor and supplies in the economy, staff is asking the town council to increase the following amounts. A, for the first one from 3,000 to 5,000 in section 2. B, from 3,001 to 5,001, and from 15,000 to 100,000 in section 3. Approved at a council meeting.
What
See-
is Section 3?
15 to 100 grand?
I know, but what is it? What is it?
3 reads, the mayor and council, upon approval at a council meeting, hereby authorize the purchasing officer to make purchases, leases, rentals, and contracts for supplies and equipment in excess of the amount established pursuant to Section 2 and 100,000. So it's between the 15,000 and 1 to
It
100,000.
says upon approval by the council.
Right.
I guess I don't get it.
Why is
Yeah,
there
so
a top?
You approved the resolution for the purchasing amounts.
Oh, what
Upon
I'm
their-
trying to get at is what are we talking about purchasing that costs 15 to 100,000? Is it
What
equipment or
Steve Ziegler stuff.
specifically?
Steve Ziegler's.
He's the one that does most of the purchasing.
Proposals, council would then. Yeah, so it's difficult for me to get a lot of things accomplished in the current guidelines for purchasing. So by increasing these, it'll certainly help me get my job done without having to take so many items to council for approval. So the limits in between 15,000 and 100,000 would still require your approval.
But it wouldn't require our approval for you to get the bids.
Correct. So anything above 100,000 would then require to go out and go into official bid, for instance.
But it
the-
still goes through us at the end of the
Correct.
day.
It still goes
Yes.
through.
The
The biggest,
council's still in the loop. It just makes it a little easier to get
right, and I
things
think the
done.
biggest change is really the 5,000, the 3,000 to 5,000. Initially, council approved us from 1,500 to 3,000, which was a blessing. But having that 5,000 certainly will help all of the department heads get stuff done. I mean, I do have difficulty in getting, work done just because of the current structure on the purchasing.
Well, I think there was a time when I would have been comfortable with a dollar limit on this stuff, but times have changed, and I think you're probably right. It would make your job easier. There's a level of trust that has to occur.
So as I'm reading this, if this is approved, you can buy anything 5,000 or below.
Yes, sir.
And you can go out for bid for anything from 15,000 to 100,000, but then council has to approve.
No, get proposals, 3 proposals.
Okay,
So it doesn't officially go out to bid. Out to bid means it's out to public for bidding. So the 15 to 100,000, I would contact the vendors, contractors, get the proposals, put them in front of you for review and approval.
okay.
But it used to be you had to come to us just to ask permission to go to bid. Yeah, that makes sense.
Speed it up by a
Yeah.
month.
Yeah, so part of that is becoming much more efficient, cost-effective, for us to do business. Granted, it does take a lot of my time to go out there and call these contractors and get all this stuff done, but an actual invitation to bid is a huge, huge process that I have to undertake, and I don't want to have to do that unless it's absolutely necessary for the police station project and these big projects. It is necessary. That's why I try to incorporate and use cooperative purchasing agreements for just about everything I possibly can, so we don't have to go through that bid process because it is lengthy and it is time-consuming for us to get work done.
Would it save money also?
Yes.
It
Being
saves
more
labor,
expediting
absolutely.
everything?
Man hours.
Absolutely.
for sure.
It's more efficient.
Advertising can cost, especially if it's over 15,000, we have to have it in the paper.
Okay.
I do see a typo. It's my typo. When I sent this over, I have it not exceeding 6,000. That should be 5,000 in the actual resolution. That'll be changed to 5,000.
All right. Any questions, discussion? Entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
So moved and seconded to approve Resolution 14, 2023, establishing purchasing amounts as recommended. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item 10, discussion action to approve, deny Chamber of Commerce Services Agreement. Ed?
Yes, council, you did approve this a couple meetings ago. We're bringing it before you again because there's still a few things that weren't, that needed to be worked out a little bit on the chamber's end. So since they didn't adopt theirs, we can bring it back again for adoption, and those changes are all in red. And Christina did go through this, and she's the one that edited it for us and updated it.
You guys are good, Melissa?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about her, but.
She's the most important one in this agreement.
Yes.
All right, any discussion or questions? Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the Chamber of Commerce Services Agreement. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item 11, discussion action to approve deny payment to Lake Havasu City for the amicus brief services in the amount of $3127.50 for Mojave County versus the Board of Reclamation.
Mayor and council, I'm not real familiar with this, other than I found a note from Charlie.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit more familiar maybe. There was a amicus brief, which isn't quite a lawsuit. It was filed in federal court. And at the time, all the counties along the river agreed to participate. We didn't agree to give a certain amount of money. And at the time, I think it was gonna cost a lot more. So I was saying, well, maybe we can give you a few thousand, but not 15. They were asking for, at one point, like 20,000 or something. And every community along the river agreed except for Page, I think was the one community. And they are way apart from us. They're not really a contiguous river community like us. Bullhead, Havasu, Yuma. So to me, this is a pretty good deal. This is basically for lawyers to do this amicus brief in federal court. Questions? So if this previous resolution had been established before this, is that something you would have just said, well, we gotta pay this, we'll just pay it, without bringing it to council? Because it's under 5,000, right?
Well, that's a little different because that's contracted services.
Okay,
Yeah,
this is legal fees
yeah,
or
it's a
something.
little different.
I was just curious. All right, do we have a motion?
So moved?
Second.
So moved and seconded to approve payment to Lake Havasu City, which, by the way, they've already paid the bill. They're just hoping to get reimbursements from everybody. In the amount of $3127.50 for Mojave County versus Board of Reclamation. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item 12, discussion and action to approve, deny Resolution 12, 2023, establishing guidelines for public comments on town social media sites. Amy.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I am here requesting approval of Resolution 12-2023, adopting the Town of Parker social media policy and guidelines for public comment on social media sites. The town currently has no stated social media policy or guidelines for public comment. This document will provide clear guidelines to staff and informs the public about rules and regulations regarding posting prohibited content on town social media sites.
Okay. And this has all been vetted, I'm sure, by the lawyers.
Yeah, this came directly from Christina, and this was a template that we used from, that she used from another town. I think Youngtown has the same policy, and many of the cities and towns and counties have these in place. You'll notice that every once in a while, if you're on our Facebook page, there's a, person that pops up, hey, come check this site, or hey, do this, or hey, do that. This will give me the guidance and the authority to remove that kind of content from our page without, breaking any sort of free speech or, Second Amendment rights there.
All right. Any
Whatever
discussion,
amendment it is.
concerns, questions? Entertain a motion?
So moved?
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve Resolution 12, 2023, establishing guidelines for public comments on town social media sites as recommended. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Liaison reports. Anybody have anything?
I missed the street traffic, I asked Dusty to go, and I don't know if he went or not, so.
He did.
Did he?
Erica, you have anything?
Want to report on?
Park and Recs?
No, we haven't met. Meeting
I would like to remove myself from the Chamber of Commerce liaison. If somebody wants to grab that or switch me out. One idea I had was PACE, because they mentioned it, just because I'm familiar with everything they do and I don't work there anymore. But that's up to you, if you would want to be the chamber liaison. They meet the second Tuesday?
It's the fourth Tuesday.
Fourth Tuesday, 8 a.m. at the chamber office. It's up to you.
And you can join not only in person, but by phone as well.
I don't know how that works for your job. A couple of your bosses will be over there, I know that for sure.
That's fine, I can do that.
Okay. And I don't know that we need any kind of action for that, we're just,
No, that's
Trading.
the appointment by you.
okay. Thank you, appreciate it, David. All right, Sunday, September 10th, Parker Community Grandparents Pancake Breakfast at the Parker's Community Center, 8 a.m. to 11. Monday, September 11th, Friends of the Library Book Sale. Monday, September 11th, Library Advisory Board. Tuesday, the 12th, Parks and Recreation, 4 o'clock. Monday, the 18th, Parker Community Center Advisory Board, 5:15. Tuesday, the 19th, next regular council meeting.
I think we're having a joint venture meeting on the 16th, is it? No.
15th. Whatever that Wednesday is.
It'll be on the 13th.
Wednesday.
And we'll look at schedules to do having a green fart discussion.
On the 19th, we should have that special.
If Trish can attend that day or no
Session.
matter what.
I'll
Yeah, we'll
call.
verify.
Well, I think from what it sounds like that we just want to do a possible e-session. So I'll put this back on the agenda for discussion and action and possible e-session, unless you want to have a work session prior to that without legal
I think the
counsel.
e-sessions
I
is
wanna do
sufficient.
e-session.
And I would urge everybody to look it over, so if we have, that way, if we have concerns or questions, we can bring them up. And if not, we can just approve it, so. All right, this meeting's adjourned.
Justin, thank you.
Thanks, Justin.
Good to see y'all last week.
Yeah.
Most of you.